Houston, maybe the energy capital and wanting to be the leader in energy transition as well, but people aren't exactly speeding over to their local dealership to make the switch to electric vehicles. So let's get to the root of the issue. Why not? U of H Hobby School actually researched this. Here's the cliff notes of their findings.
The survey found that few Texans currently owned or leased an electric vehicle, and only about 1 in 10 said they would be very likely to consider owning or leasing one. When we broke it down by generation, the majority of Gen Z and millennial Texans said they were either very or somewhat likely to consider purchasing or leasing one in the future.
So why not electric? I mean, what is driving people away from EVs?
The number one reason was cost, and the second reason was the lack of charging stations.
So let's look at the cost. A large part of the cost comes from the battery, what it's made of, and how long that battery will actually last. Now, lithium-ion batteries contain metals like cobalt, nickel, copper, and aluminum. All of their prices are way, way up there. And just like your phone battery, eventually over time, it holds less of a charge. So what are you going to do? Buy a new battery or buy a new car? For many, neither makes any sense. Well, guess what? A lab in Houston is now working to solve both of those problems. This is Dr. Yan Yao, a professor of electric and computer engineering. He took us inside the lab at the University of Houston, where he's working on a new battery that is lithium and transition metal-free. He's also working to make the battery last longer and charge faster.
We're using organic materials, which can be manufactured large scale at much cheaper cost.
Okay, so the cost will eventually go down, but what about infrastructure? How are you supposed to recharge at your home or on your commute to work?
Although Houston is the energy capital of the world, but there are a lot of organizations like, for instance, Shell Recharge Solutions that are coming in to provide public charging solutions. Additionally, the utility like CenterPoint and some of the energy providers like NRG are making big investments in their power production and their grids just to accommodate for the growth in increased power demand from EV charging.
Now, this upgrade to infrastructure needs to happen fast, and I mean really, really fast. The EPA announced by 2030 it wants 50% of vehicles on the road to be alternative energy. Oh, and by the way, electric vehicles are not anything new. They've been around for over 100 years. If you're a history buff or if your kiddos just like cars, we have a very cool history about cars on our website, clicktohouston.com. Check out the Investigate section. I'm Bill Spencer, KPRC 2 News.